Hi, my name is Robert Chelle with Chelle Law, and I assist dental associates with employment contract and independent contractor agreement issues. Today I'm going to talk about tail insurance for dentists. So what is tail insurance? And then talk a little bit about malpractice policies as a dental associate. So first, there are generally two types of insurance that are utilized in the dental industry. One is called claims made, and the other is called occurrence. And I'll walk through the two of those and then explain tail insurance. So an occurrence policy simply means a policy has to be in effect when the incident occurs. Therefore, there is no tail insurance necessary. You don't have to buy any kind of assurance after the employment relationship is terminated. So occurrence insurance generally is what a dentist will, at least in my opinion, makes the most sense to get. It is around a third more expensive per year. However, you do not have to purchase tail, and I'll explain what that means in a second. So the first type of malpractice insurance is occurrence. The second type is called claims made. So in a claims made policy, a policy has to be in effect when the claim is actually made, so when you are actually sued. So there could be a gap between the last day that you provide care for the employer and then your insurance policy ends. And then there's going to be, statute of limitations, which just simply means, how long it takes for someone to sue you, or at least the limit on when they can sue you. In most states, it's 2 years for a malpractice claim. There are some exceptions for minors, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So let's just assume you have a claims made policy. It ends when the contract is terminated. You're going to need an additional policy, which is called tail insurance. Or extended reporting, however you want to characterize it, that then covers the gap in between when you leave and then the last day somebody can sue you. Now, a good rule of thumb is tail insurance is generally around twice what your annual premium is. So whatever it costs to insure you on an annual basis, you just double that, and then that's what your tail cost would be. Now, it's a one-time payment, so you don't have to pay it every year or anything like that. But it generally has to be secured prior to the last day of employment. And then who pays for tail is, kind of the big question. And that is a contractual issue, meaning it's going to be listed in your employment contract or independent contractor agreement. If you have a claims made policy, who is responsible for tail insurance? And this is something that is negotiable. If you work for a DSO, they're usually going to cover your malpractice insurance, and perhaps they're self-insured. But if you work for kind of a private dentist-owned practice, then it's not uncommon for the dental associate to be required to pay their own tail. Now, for dental associate, it's very cheap in the first, usually 1 to 2 years, and I'm talking about hundreds of dollars. Whereas sometime around year 3, it'll hop up to what it normally will be. That's usually somewhere between $3,000 to $4,000 per year. So your tail costs just double that, and so it'd be somewhere between $6,000 to $8,000. Now, this also depends upon specialty. If you're doing a lot of surgery, it may be a little more, whereas if you're just doing kind of bread and butter general dentistry, it might be a little bit less than that. So when you sign the contract or when you're negotiating your employment contract, you pay very close attention to who is responsible for tail. And then, as I said before, this is something that you can absolutely negotiate. Now, if you are doing, kind of independent contractor daily work for practices, then you need to make sure, if you're the one responsible for insurance, that you are adding any of the organizations that you're providing care for. So if you're just doing, once a week or once a month or a few times a month, you need to let your carrier know that you're providing care at this place and then get them added to your policy. So that's a little bit on tail insurance. If you have any questions about your employment contract or independent contractor agreement, feel free to contact my law firm. All our contact information is listed below in the description, and I appreciate you watching the video. Thanks.